All right, so let's just jump right into this. What we're going to do is use Adobe neural filters to colorize this photo, this black and white photo of my Uncle Stan. So yeah, this was taken, I think, around 1941, maybe a little later than that. Anyway, so let's jump right into it. So we're using neural filters to colorize this photo. So before we can do anything, we have to go up here to Image, Mode, and you'll see that the mode is grayscale. Well, we don't want to use grayscale because then we can't put any color on the dang thing. So we're going to change that to RGB color. That's all we have to do to that photo, and then we can go into neural filters, which to get to those, you go here to Filter, and down to is Neural Filters, all right? And it's loading up here over on the right-hand side, and it's got this, when it detects a face, it puts a nice little frame around it. So on neural filters, you have a lot of options to go to. We're not going to bother with anything except for this one right down here. It says colorize. So we're just going to click the little circle here and colorize it. So we're clicking it and bam, there it is. That's really quick. So what it did on this one, it recognized the face, so it gave the skin tones pretty darn close. The rest of it may be off, but the skin tones are right on because the face is in the majority of the picture. All right, then next thing we do is come over here to the right, and you'll see a list of preset things that Adobe has provided, but actually I don't use those. I use whatever neural filters, a colorized filter comes up with, that's what I use. I don't mess with any of this stuff here. But I do, the reason I come over here to the right is because down here, there's a line that says output as a new color layer, and we definitely want to do that. So we'll click that box right there, and that gives us, over here on the left, it gives us a color layer. So after that, we go down here, simply we click OK, and that's going to open right up in Photoshop, and there it is. Nice picture. I mean, that would be good almost already, just like it is. I know the computer did it all, but on this picture, there is something we got to change. Notice his shirt. Poor Uncle Stan's shirt looks like he's been rolling around in a rust pile or something like that. So we're going to try to fix his shirt, and maybe we'll go up here and fix the bill of that baseball cap up here. Other than that, this looks pretty darn good. So to do what we want to do, we got to first figure out what color we want to make this shirt. Now, a lot of times on this, when you're colorizing, and you know it's a wrong color, but if you look really close at it, sometimes you can see just a hint of the right color. So I'm going to zoom in here and see what I can see. So I noticed this is kind of a gray color here on looks like the inside liner of his shirt. Nice shirt. But I notice right here, this looks maybe gray. I don't know. Could be. Let's try it. And so we're going to go over here to our color swatches right over here on the left side of Photoshop. Click on that, and it brings up our color picker screen. And so we're going to come over here. Now we have the little eyedropper thing. So we're going to pick out the color that we might want to put on this shirt. I'm just going to click right about here in the on the shirt where that light spot is and see what I come up with. So there it is. That's what we came up with. It's kind of gray, but I think let's try that. So I click OK, and sure enough, gray comes up over here on the color swatch. So we know we have gray in it. Now I'm going to go over here and select my brush. right here. And I have never been particular about what brush I have. I think this one is, what we got here, it's 150, and I got the hardness set to 0 on that, so it's not a real hard edge brush at all. So I think I'm gonna stick with that. And I use my bracket keys on the keyboard to enlarge or make smaller on the brush head size. So I'm going to make that a little smaller there by using the left bracket key. So now we got gray, and it shows we got it. So let's just try a little gray here and see what happens. Well, it's not too bad. I'm going to go up here and take the smoothing down to 0 because it makes my brush seems to want to work better when that's at 0. It doesn't seem to lag. When smoothing is set up high, it seems to lag, and I don't like to lag. So that's a nice color. But I don't think that's something Uncle Stan would have wore. I think he was more of a color guy, I think. So let's set up here, and let's go over here to our color swabs again, and we're gonna I think we're gonna add a little bit of blue maybe. Let's go down here and come in a little blue here. Let's see what that does here. Now there's what I have. I'll go somewhere else. Oh wow. Well, actually, starting to look like a faded Levi jacket here, a little bit. And I put some color on his neck there, didn't I? We'll get rid of that. I'm going to add a little more blue. See, when you're doing this, you're the boss, man. You can do anything you want to. Just do it. All right, I like that. So let's get rid of everything here. Just hit Control-Z a couple times or more. Oh, not that one. Edit, redraw. Okay, so let's use this blue I have here that I have selected. And we're just going to go up here and see what it looks like here. Now, you notice I'm probably getting out of the edges. I'm not coloring inside the lines, and you can do that and get away with it sometimes because you can go right back and color over it. But I don't know. Your most used, the tool that I favor mostly when I'm doing this is right up here. It's the opacity scale, and you can use one color and get a ton of different shades if you want to, but I'm going to lower that down to about 70 or 65, somewhere in there, and see what difference that makes. We'll undo all that. So I don't want it to be in your face color because this is an old color. An old picture. So we'll just do a little more subtle stuff here. Let's see what we got. See, it's really nice because you can just sit here and you can just do it colors to your heart's content, and nobody can tell you it's wrong. They just can't, especially these old pictures like this, and because you're making up everything as you go, basically. I don't like that. I like it better with the opacity at 100%. It just jumps out at me. Let's go back and undo this. So, and undo. There we go. That's just a little better. We'll just stick with this. I'm not going to mess with it too much here. So we're going to now we're going to be a little more careful. We're going to go around the edges, and just put a little color wherever there needs to be color. And better look at the whole picture here. There we go. So now when you use the opacity slider, one thing you got to be careful with is if you're doing a large area and you've reduced the opacity, say to 50 or whatever, if you release the mouse button and then go push it down again, go back over places where you've already colored, they are going to be that much again. You know, if you reduced it to 50%, when you go over it a second time, it's gonna put 50% back on it, and it makes it a lot darker. Let me show you here. So let me run this down to say 50%. Or thereabouts, right around there. I'm going to do a spot right here. So this is at 50%, okay? And I let up on the key on the left key on the mouse, and I think, oh, I better do that again. Well, now that made a liar out of me, wouldn't you know it? Still don't look too bad, actually. What about over here? Well, let me just say I've had that happen before. You got to be careful and check it before you do it. That is funny. Anyway, so we're just going to go up here and color in this shirt. And also we're going to get down into the shadows here. Notice how this photo has vignetting on it. Yep, they did it back in those days in the darkroom. You might not have known that, but you probably did. But anyway, we're going to go down in here and get into that area just to make sure. Now on his back here, I don't know. I guess we got it there. I'm going to zoom in, see this little area right here. I'm going to make my brush a little smaller with the bracket key, the left bracket key. And then we're going to just get this little area right here. And right here's, we need a little bit. You know, it really doesn't matter. This isn't going to show that much. You know, by the time this won't be a very big picture. People aren't going to notice a lot of things that you notice when you got everything enlarged 1,000%. When they're looking at it as a picture, they don't notice it. It's almost impossible to see. So let's get that, and maybe a little more there. You can be a perfectionist if you want to. I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm trying to get this video not to drag on here. There we go. All right, what's that down there? Let's do that one too. Okay. So there's his shirt. That looks pretty good. Oh, I see I got a little blue on his skin there. Well, that's easy to fix, and you don't have to clone it. You go back over here, click there, and go up to your color picker again, and then you take your eyedropper on a skin tone there and say, okay, and then you can just go in here and cover that back up. You're not cloning, you're just recoloring is all you're doing there. So yeah, there you go. Now Uncle Stan's got, looks like, it looks like Uncle Stan now, in my opinion, from what I know of what I knew of him. He was my first uncle that I really got to know, and I had some other uncles I knew later in my years, you know, when I was 7 or 8 or something like that, or 6. But Uncle Stan was with me right then, right from the beginning. Uncle Stan is the one who taught me how to fish. And so he has a warm spot in my heart for Uncle Stan for teaching me that, because it kept me busy in my summer days after that. All right, so that's looking pretty good with that blue shirt and the white t-shirt. That's how everybody used to dress. They'd put on a white t-shirt and a shirt over it, but nobody does that anymore. So now the only thing left is, I notice his hat is kind of blue. So let's try the same well, actually, let's go up here to opacity and reduce this down to about 50%. And make our brush a little bigger here with the keys, the bracket keys. About to there. Let's see what that does. Oh, no, it's still, yeah, I don't like that at all. Well, what are we gonna do? Let's try something else. I'll go down here and put black on the top right here. And I think that's what we'll do. Now, black doesn't really leave a color. What it does is takes color away. So any color that's underneath this bill of this hat, this black should take it off. Let's see what happens. Oh, we got to put it up to 100% again. There we go. Look at that. I kind of like that. It lightens it up. Yeah. Gets rid of those blue splotches. Uncle Stan's fingerprints on the bottom of that hat, I bet you. And now that's pretty good, except around the bill, the edge of the bill. Let's see if we can get that. We'll close this down a little bit here. And let's just go around the edge. Just ever so much. Just enough to give it a little highlight, perhaps. Yeah, I like that. Now it looks like it's a gray hat, actually. So, blue shirt, gray hat. I like that. That looks like my Uncle Stan, all right. He looked young. I don't think I ever knew him that young. Yeah, I was probably 5 or 6 years before I knew him. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so there you go. Now, if you say you do a picture and you think, boy, that looks awful. I don't like that picture. And you think it's just dull. Here's what you can do. Let's just pretend something here. Now, let's just go over here to the color picker again, and heck, let's go to a green. Oh, about there. I think that's a nice green right there. Let's give him a green shirt and see what happens. Oh, that's way too green though. So let's go back up here to opacity, and let's go down about, I don't know, 50 or so, 50%. Let's get rid of that green right there. Let's see what this one looks like. I'm gonna make the brush a little bigger, but oh, that is still greener than green. So let's go back here to opacity. We're going to go down to about 20. Let's go a little lower. Let's go to 20, right around 20, 19, 20. That's good. We'll get rid of that one. Let's see what happens here. Oh, now that's starting to look nice. See what I mean? How you can just use the same color, but you can make it totally different. Now, I like that. I like that green. That kind of looks like Uncle Stan. Seems like I remember him wearing a shirt like that one time. But just probably never saw it, but it seems like he looks good in it. So yeah, now we put a green shirt on him. How's that? And get up around the edges here, right in there, right next to his neck. Oh, darn. That looks pretty nice, Uncle Stan. Where'd you get that outfit? Let's do something a little bit different. Let's just give him a little t-shirt, red. Let's do this, and we'll close this down a little bit, and we'll get there in there on his t-shirt. That would go a little smaller. Let's give him a reddish t-shirt. A pink. Oh yeah. I forgot I had it opacity way down there. There we go. I don't know if I like pink, but that's all right, I guess. Now, that's a totally different picture there, isn't it? I mean, you can do whatever you want with this, folks. You can make them funny or realistic or old looking or just plain or fancy. You can do whatever you want. So I'm not going to mess with this background on this one. I'm not going to mess with it because it looks pretty nice actually with the blue back there. But Uncle Stan wearing green. Oh, look at this. See this? Look at here. I got some pink right there. We can just go right over here to the color picker and get the eyedropper, drop it right here, hit OK, and then we'll just go in here. Oh, we got to put that to 100%. Probably. There we go. Go right there. Look at that. Took it right out. There's a little pink there too. Just give everything a little pink. Yeah. All right. That's pretty nice. Uncle Stan, you're a sharp dresser. This was back. Let's fix these shoulders here. Let's fix these shoulders back here. See, once you get started doing this, it's it's hard to quit. But you can't go. I mean, you can, but I don't like to go overboard. I like to keep things kind of subtle with my colors and everything. So, but this definitely is not subtle for my Uncle Stan. So, speaking of colors, a lot of times when I'm doing these old pictures, I do a lot of old cars, and I can remember a lot of colors of cars, but not specifically, from the 50s. And so here's what I did. I started going online, and I started making me a color sheet. I'd go Google 1953 Chevrolet colors or something like that, and it always brings up a color schemes, a color wheel, something like that, pages of colors, and so I've been copying and pasting those, and I'm making my own list of car colors. I'm going to put it up above or wherever it goes. I think I'm going to put it right here in front of me, in front of Uncle Stan here actually, while I'm talking, so you can see it. But yeah, it's a handy thing to have. And I imagine, if you're into clothing and stuff like that, you could probably do something similar. That way you have all those colors. Instead of trying to guess at them, you can just go get them, from your cheat sheet. So there you go, folks. That's a quick kind of a rundown on how I do these pictures. And so it needs practice. You need a lot of practice. It takes, you got to do it to get really to like it. And so because of that, in the links below, I'm going to put the link below in the down by the comments and stuff like that in the description. It's going to take you to my Smug Mug gallery, where I have posted some pictures for this particular video. And in that gallery, I only put 2 pictures. They're black and white, old black and whites. They're from probably the 40s pictures. And they're black and white, and I put them in there for you to download. They're going to be free downloads for you. There's no charge at all. You can use them for whatever you want. These are pictures that a friend of mine found at a yard sale in North Carolina, a bunch of negatives and prints, or no prints. It was all negatives. I had to scan the negatives, and it was a lot of fun. But anyway, these are 2 pictures from that batch. And one of them is easier. It's kind of similar to this one, so you shouldn't have, it should be easier to do, to get accustomed to doing, colorizing. And that's just a single person in that one. The other one is, I think I called it more difficult. Well, it certainly is. The other one could be a challenge. It's got a barnyard scene somewhere in North Carolina, I think, and there's chickens and babies and cars and barns and farm equipment. I mean, it's a really cool picture. And I think you will enjoy trying to colorize that one. Anyway, check on the link below and go ahead and download them. I don't care. I don't care about them at all. Use them for what you want to use. And then you can practice without having to scan or dig through an old cardboard shoebox looking at old prints and stuff. Just grab these pictures and go blast away at them. It's going to be fun. You will like it, I'm sure. Anyway, that's my video for today, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I look forward to hearing comments from you and, getting a few likes and stuff like that. Maybe a couple subscribers. I don't know. Anyway, guys and girls and gals and men, that's all for today, and I'll see you again on my next video, probably in a week or so. You guys all take care and keep colorizing those pictures, man. All righty. See you later. Bye.